Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. So, today is 23rd of Feb 2024, and we have the Avyakt Murli of 6th of January 1979. In this Murli, Baba is very, very clear about, what are the signs of the souls who will come in the Sun dynasty and souls who will come in the Moon dynasty. So Baba is giving the difference between the two souls and how we can actually check ourselves on the basis of these signs that Baba is giving in today's Murli, that where we have reached in our efforts. Have we reached until the Moon dynasty, or we are at the boundary of Sun dynasty, or we have entered into the Sun dynasty? So Baba is giving these signs. We can note it down as we listen to them through the Murli. The essence of the Murli is signs of practical dharana in the lives of Sun and Moon dynasty souls. Signs of practical dharana in the lives of Sun and Moon dynasty souls. Today, Bap and Dada were having a conversation in the subtle region about the efforts of the children in their ascending stage. Bap Dada saw two types of children. One type they saw was of those in the first division of effort makers in their form of Sun dynasty deities. The other type was of those in the second division of effort makers in their form of Moon dynasty warriors. Right? So first division, Sun dynasty deities. Second division, Moon dynasty warriors. They saw a difference between the two types of children in both their stage and their speed. So difference in efforts of both of these type of souls. Baba says there was a difference in their stage and difference in the speed of their efforts as well. Both had the thought of reaching the destination of perfection, and they still have this thought. However, there wasn't much difference visible between the thought and the practical form of the first division, the Sun dynasty souls. There was a greater difference visible between the thought and the form of the second division, the Moon dynasty souls. So, difference between your thoughts and your practical form. So Baba is talking about this difference. It is said, no, Kathni and Karni. So thought level and practical level. So Baba is saying there wasn't much difference between thought and the practical form of the Sun dynasty souls, but in case of Moon dynasty souls, a greater difference was visible. Their thought was 100% powerful, but their practical form was sometimes 75% and sometimes 50%. The Sun dynasty souls either constantly maintain the powerful stage of a master son of knowledge, the seed stage, or they stabilize in the second stage of an Avyakt angel for a longer time. So the first stage is like Shiv Baba, that's the seed stage, or like master son of knowledge in the incorporeal world. And the second stage, Baba is saying, in the subtle world, that is the stage of an Avyakt angel. So they were in either of these two stages for a long time. The moon dynasty souls are not able to stabilize in the seed stage of a master son of knowledge for as long, for it is only after battling with many types of obstacles of Maya for a long time that they are able to stabilize in the stage of either an avyakt angel or a victorious soul. So they would also be able to stabilize at this stage, but Baba said they took time because they were able to do so only after battling. Sometimes they battle against their wasteful thoughts and sometimes with some other problem. So battle against Maya, battle against their waste thoughts, and then they stabilize in that stage. They spend a long time trying to defeat Maya. In 1 hour's effort, they would experience half an hour or 15 minutes of success. So 1 hour if they make effort, Baba is saying that they will experience success only for 15 minutes or so. Therefore, because of their laborious efforts, they sometimes become tired or sometimes they just carry on. So there's an experience of labor in their efforts. It's not easy or natural. They sometimes run, and some at other times when they see others running, although they want to run themselves, they are unable to do so. In experiencing each virtue of the Father, they only reach halfway in that experience. So they do not experience the virtues of the Father completely in their practical lives. That stage is only accomplished by 50%. They would say that the Father is the ocean of happiness and that they themselves are embodiments of happiness, but they would not experience constant happiness. So Baba is talking about the moon dynasty souls. They understand or they realize that the Father is the ocean of happiness. They are the embodiment of happiness, but they practically don't experience happiness constantly. So this is the difference. They experience perfect happiness sometimes, but not at other times. Just as the degrees of the moon increase and reduce, similarly, those of the moon dynasty only sometimes experience the perfect stage with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, whereas at other times they experience themselves to be very far from the perfect stage. So there is this fluctuation actually in this stage that Baba is talking about, that sometimes they will experience perfect happiness, sometimes they will not experience. So like the degrees of the moon, up and down, Baba says sometimes they are very happy, sometimes they have a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, and sometimes they see themselves very far from the destination. Sometimes in order to experience Baba's company, instead of adopting the stage of remembrance, they adopt the stage of complaining. So instead of remembering Baba, Baba says they adopt the stage of complaining. And now Baba will share here the signs of the Sun dynasty souls. So the first sign is those of the Sun dynasty constantly experience the Father's company. Constantly experience the Father's company and remain absorbed in experiencing love in all relationships with Him. So we can make a note of these signs. First sign, Baba is saying, constantly experience his company and remain absorbed in the experience of love of all relationships with him. Second one, Sun dynasty souls do not fluctuate in their stage by sometimes ascending and sometimes descending. So, like Baba said about the Moon dynasty souls, they fluctuate, sometimes happy, sometimes not happy, sometimes close to the perfect stage, sometimes not close to the perfect stage. So, Baba is saying, but Sun dynasty souls, they do not fluctuate in their stage by sometimes ascending and sometimes descending. They constantly experience the stage of ascent. Just as the sun is always experienced as the form of light. And that is why they are compared with the sun, right? Because there's no fluctuation, no increase and decrease in the degree of light. It doesn't go into a cycle of degrees. There isn't a difference of sometimes being 14 degrees and other times 8 degrees. So the second sign, no fluctuation in the stage. Third sign, Maya definitely comes in front of Sun dynasty souls like a cloud, but that cloud comes and then vanishes. So it isn't that Maya doesn't come in front of Sun dynasty souls. Maya does come, but Baba says it's like a cloud, it comes and it goes. Fourth one, Sun dynasty souls constantly have a stage of equanimity. Their own brightness doesn't lessen when they see clouds. Their own brightness doesn't lessen when they see clouds of Maya. They experience having the virtues of the Father in their practical lives and also reveal themselves to everyone through this form. So, like for Moon Dynasty, Baba said, they experience the Father's virtues in their lives sometimes, not completely. So, it was around 50%. But here, Baba is saying they constantly experience the Father's virtues in their practical lives. Fifth one, Sun dynasty souls constantly experience themselves to be unlimited servers and light and might houses. So this is the stage, unlimited servers and light and might houses. Sixth one, Sun dynasty souls constantly follow in the footsteps of Father Brahma in everything they do. They are equal to Father Brahma in their deeds and in the speed of their efforts. So they follow Father. So just like as Brahma Baba did, Baba is saying they will follow Brahma Baba in their deeds and in the speed of their efforts as well. Seventh one, the first step of Sun dynasty souls is in following the Father. In which aspect? Their mind and intellects are totally surrendered to the Father. So this was Brahma Baba's speciality. So Baba says, like Brahma Baba did, Sun dynasty souls will follow Father and have their minds and intellects totally surrendered to the Father. You saw this speciality in Father Brahma. He claimed his great fortune through this great renunciation. Tyag se bhagya. So Baba says, like Brahma Baba made great renunciation and claimed his great fortune. So the Sun dynasty souls will follow Baba in this aspect. He was the first number. You saw the speciality in Father Brahma. He claimed his great fortune through his great renunciation. He was the first number to claim the perfect angelic form and the first number to claim the title of World Emperor. So he was the first one to claim this title of perfect angel, and world emperor. Similarly, Sun Dynasty souls are great and complete renunciates. Sun Dynasty souls are great and complete renunciates. To be a complete renunciate means that you renounce even the progeny of vice in your sanskars. So renunciation not just on the level of body, wealth, but Baba is saying even on the level of vices, even the progeny of vices in your sanskars, you renounce. Such complete renunciates who follow the Father become angels at this time and the first world emperors in the future. 8th point, Sun Dynasty souls constantly experience their intellects to have faith and thereby remain constantly carefree and experience themselves to be definitely victorious every cycle. Right? So Baba says they experience complete faith in their intellects. And where there is faith, so there is carefree stage, and then there's victory guaranteed. 9th point, Sun Dynasty souls, whilst fulfilling the responsibility of world benefit, they remain double light, even to the extent of their huge responsibility. So in spite of having big responsibility, Baba says they remain double light. 10th point, Sun Dynasty souls, through the rays of their attitude and their vibrations, stabilize other souls in the experience of their original form. So through their attitude, through their vibrations, they can enable other souls to stabilize in their original form. 11th point, Sun Dynasty souls do not use any of the treasures they have selfishly for themselves, but they are constantly great donors and bestow blessings on others. So not just for themselves, but Baba says they will constantly be great donors and bestow blessings on others. 12th point, there are two special indications of souls who belong to the Sun Dynasty. So two special indications Baba is saying. The first one, they only come into sound after being in the stage beyond sound. So the first sign, they only come into sound after being in the stage beyond sound. Secondly, two signs of them are they always maintain their stage of self-respect and they are humble and constructive in their words and deeds. So there is this fine balance of self-respect and of being humble. So these two signs, Baba is saying, these are the two special indications. So the first one, they come into sound after being stable in the stage beyond sound. And the second one, they maintain their self-respect, at the same time they are very humble and constructive in their words and deeds. So these were the 12 signs that Baba said about the Sun Dynasty souls. Similarly, these are the indications of Moon Dynasty souls. They only sometimes fulfill a task to the full extent and other times to a lesser extent. It would be sometimes 50%. So they will do it or they will not do it. Sometimes do it, sometimes do it partially. Sometimes they sparkle like the souls who reach 100%, and at other times they constantly turn the beads of their own rosary of weakness, own rosary of weaknesses in front of the Father. So sometimes they are in a very high stage of self-respect. Baba says they will sparkle like the souls who reach 100%, but sometimes they will talk about their own weaknesses in front of the Father. Sometimes they are powerful, and at other times they create waste. Sometimes they are great, and at other times they are ordinary. Sometimes they experience themselves to have authority and to be Mahavirs, and at other times they say that they can only move forward if they are given support and cooperation. So they experience themselves to be limping along. So sometimes they are very powerful. They are in the stage of having authority, being Mahavir. And Baba says sometimes they need support and cooperation to move forward. So now ask yourself, so this is important to see what Baba is saying. Ask yourself, what stage have I reached? What stage have I reached? Am I a Sun Dynasty soul? Have I gone beyond the stage of the Moon Dynasty? And am I on the boundary of becoming a Sun Dynasty soul? Or am I still in the Moon Dynasty stage? Those who have reached the boundary of the Sun Dynasty would sometimes take a jump into the Sun Dynasty stage, but would otherwise remain in the Moon Dynasty. Now check, where are you? Where you are, and cross the boundary to become part of the Sun Dynasty. Do you understand what you have to do? So Baba gave these signs very clearly. We can understand whether we are in Moon Dynasty or about to reach the Sun Dynasty. What is it? So need to judge ourselves. Acha, to those who constantly enable themselves to have a right to the Sun Dynasty and who follow in the footsteps of the Father, to those who constantly stay in the angelic stage like the Father, to those who become master sons of knowledge and whose rays of attainment bring light to dispel the darkness of the world, to the children who are master sons of knowledge, Bap Dada's love, remembrance and namaste. We children also say Bap sorry, love and remembrance to dear Bap Dada. Om Shanti. So I think we can stop here and pause for a minute in silence and just try to recall what all signs we registered in our intellects that Baba talked about the Moon Dynasty souls and the Sun Dynasty souls. And then we can churn later on. Om Shanti. Anyone would like to share what does that take away from this? No one?
Om Shanti, sister.
Shanti.
Very nice, Murli, to check ourselves, to understand where we stand, whether we'll go to Sun Dynasty or Moon Dynasty, or, are we close by? So very nicely, Papa gave all that, signs, the way to check ourselves in the mirror. So two types of two division. First is Sun Dynasty and the Moon Dynasty. So the Moon Dynasty souls will always have that sometimes. Sometimes they'll have high state, sometimes they experience low states. Whereas Sun Dynasty is always constantly powerful in their states. They're able to maintain 75% to 100%. But whereas the Moon Dynasty is always fluctuating.
Yeah, this was the one word that Baba says usually, that Baba doesn't like, that we say sometimes. Sometimes we have a good stage, sometimes we don't. So Baba is saying today that this is the sign of Moon Dynasty souls. So very clearly Baba mentioned that if you're happy sometimes and not happy sometimes, if you're powerful sometimes and not powerful sometimes, then that means this is the sign of Moon Dynasty. So the sometimes word, Baba says you have to finish this word and come into the stage of being constant. Thank you for sharing that, brother. Anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti, Sharmila Ben.
Ji, Om Shanti.
Oh my God, I think it's I think it's better to be a teacher sometime than a student. You know, when this Murli you read out as our teacher, I was thinking about that scene, how my sweet Brahma Baba was sitting like a student with his hands folded and listening to this long, long list of Shiv Baba when he mentioned about all these. It was, it was, if you're a student, you'll know. When it's just 3 points, what you do, your memory really takes in. And then when the teacher asks you, can you repeat? We are able to repeat it. Like a student, I watched it. But what do we do, when we have this 12 points? I still remember, I'm a commerce student. There were these 12 principles of management. So I wanted to remember all the 12 principles because for each principle, it was 1 mark. So I formed what we call it as an acronym of each.
Yeah.
Still I remember the principle of division of authority, principle of assignment, principle of dedication. I remember that. So I said, Baba, what is this? You made it really like a student thing. Such a long, and for that one, numbers also 1, 2, and as and when you were reading, 1, 2, what was 1 was trying to stay and what was 2. I know it's not just memory, it has to do. My God, that's why it was taking long time to churn this. Now, but secondly, I was thinking, why did he start with the moon and then go to the sun and then again return to the moon and ask, are you the sun and moon? And he said, and Bab Dada is having, Shiv Baba is having this conversation with the Sun Dynasty first prince. See, what I do know always now when the Murlis come, I try to pictures, can see what was the scene, how it was in 1979 and all. Well, fine. There is one very a kind of a question which is there, which I'll ask later. In this particular point, as I told you, I just chose one word of each company: fluctuation, cloud, equanimous, light might houses, follow, Brahma Baba's first, faith, double light, stabilize others, treasures, you are a special soul. I just took these 12 points and I said, okay, today, like how I was as a student, let me first just take these one word which I collected the keywords from each of these 12 and try to rote memory, whatever it's the memory. Like sometimes, you know, the shlokas and all you rote memory. So till now, when those shlokas are there in your mind, I said, I'm going to rote memory this first. Then I'm going to do. But one thing which I touched me was about Maya. Baba saying the Surya dynasty, Maya comes, but she's just a cloud and vanishes. Naturally, how can she bear the sun? The sun is scorching heat. Do you think Maya can even come closer to a few? How can we even be come close to the sun? So I was telling Baba, naturally, the sun is so hot. But the moon is so cute and so pleasant, and also Maya comes. Maya is attracted by the moon beauty, and Maya comes, and so we attack. So I was just trying to compare that Maya over there. Then the other point, every other point and all was just which Baba mentions in his Murli. Of course, Father Brahma, I think that's the key point. But Father Brahma first. Like they always have and this general knowledge, you know, who was the first, who was the first, who was the first. So Baba, Brahma Baba's first he has given and all. And only in that Brahma Baba's first renunciation, I was just thinking, because even in the before Brahma Baba came, Brahma Baba himself was in copper age. That time there are so many who renounced and went into the forest. So how can he be first renunciation? So I was just trying to do on that. But the point which really I would like to take is, and I would like a discussion, is equanimous stage. That was just few this, because what we call this is the moon wanes, but the sun doesn't wane.
Yeah.
The sun never sets. We are thinking the sun is setting, but actually it is setting in your place to rise somewhere else. That's the first geography which I remember I learned. We are thinking, oh, the sun is gone, it's gone up to sleep, it's going to take a sleep and come. No, the sun is set in your place to rise in some other place. So that the physical thing which I learned, but the moon wanes, how it becomes. I think, don't you think it is this quality also which changes the equanimous stage? Just these two only, because it's such a long list, Sharmila, to really churn on everything. But these two really touched me because of the physical qualities of the sun and the moon, which I could compare it. Otherwise, I would just want to know more about this equanimous stage. About is it the justification is the sun, and how can the poor moon be blamed for it because it was born to wane? The moon has to wane. Oh, Shanti.
Yeah, so just as you said, the moon cannot be blamed because it is born to be that. Likewise, Baba also has complete faith in drama, and Baba says drama is accurate. So the souls who have their roles to be played in the Moon dynasty, they will be, as Baba mentioned in the Murli, whatever the signs for Moon dynasty. So the sun has to be equanimous, which is Baba explained it in the Murli as well. Like whatever the father's virtues are, you will not just talk about those virtues, but you will practically experience those virtues in your life constantly. That is the stage of a Sun dynasty soul, Baba said. And because, like as Baba also compared, no, the light of the sun is constant. It doesn't increase or decrease. So the virtues are not in percentage, but they will constantly experience father's virtues in themselves. That is the stage of equanimity. Like just as the father, just as Baba is the son, constant. Baba says your stage will be constant.
And reveal. See,
And
it's
reveal. Yeah. And reveal.
that's something. See, for me
Yeah.
to know my father is an ocean of love. So
Yeah.
I'll have to say that. And for me to reveal that form,
Yeah.
that's the second part, not just, no, that really requires revealing. In that form, I was just using that word through this form. So I was thinking, what is that word, this form? Is it my body, which Baba is talking about, or through the form of the Father? See, reveal
Through
themselves
the
to
form
everyone.
of, through the form of, virtues in practical.
This form, body.
It's like it can be through your actions, it can be through your words, it can be through your thoughts, it can be through just your vibrations. It can be through the source can be, the medium can be anything, but Baba says the form of being virtuous, just as the Father is. Right?
My God, Baba has really made the Sun dynasty, like poised, these models and all, when they walk on the ramp. Have you seen they have to maintain their poise from the time they step out till the time they go to that corner and then turn and come, the poise they maintain, the way they carry themselves is what I think. Really, Baba has made these souls like,
Yeah,
they
Baba
maintain.
does say that when people will see virtues in action, only then they will believe whom do you belong to. Right? If I just say that I belong to the ocean of love, but there's no love in my actions, then that's of no use. That is not going to reveal my Father. So revealing Baba through my face, through my features, through my actions is having virtues in action.
Yeah, you're right. I think you need to really take us on a workshop for all this. It's not each of these points, and I feel the second kind of attack which Baba gave on these, already he attacked them in the first paragraph of the Moon Dynasty. Again, he comes up and makes them 50% and all. That really needs. I just have $1 million question, Sharla Ben. Please do not mistake me in asking. See, Brahma Baba is the first Narayan, or the first person in the golden age. Then I always used to ask Brahma Baba, what happened to you in your second life? Where were you? Like, you are no more the prince. Then I also asked that same question. Aren't you also the Moon Dynasty? Okay, maybe you are Sun Dynasty and Moon Dynasty. But there are some people who don't go to the Sun Dynasty, directly to the Moon Dynasty. But when you are in the Moon Dynasty, after finishing all your this, aren't you also a Moon Dynasty souls? Haven't your sparkle also gone down? Always this question used to come. I don't know if it's not a good question, but I always used to think, okay, what happens to Brahma Baba once he finishes his 150 years of the Satyu? Next, what does he do? Is he then he becomes a prince of somebody? So what happens to him? Because definitely he cannot be all the 8 kings. Somebody else becomes. A kind of a question which I always had. Then doesn't he also go to the Moon Dynasty? His copper age is really acclaimed, accomplished, to say wow, wow, and all, that he is the first person to worship Somnath. But as a Moon Dynasty, I've never heard Brahma Baba's role over there. It's just a question I had. If you could really share your view on it.
So you want to know Baba's role in Moon Dynasty?
No. Isn't he also Moon Dynasty soul? When he goes to Moon Dynasty, he's a Moon Dynasty soul.
Every soul who will come in the Sun Dynasty has to go through all the other clans, no? Or the Varnas that Baba talks about. The one who will come in the beginning of the cycle will pass through all of these clans. But others who come, they pass through the stages likewise, but they don't come into that clan, no? Right? You understand? Sun dynasty soul has to come later on into the Moon dynasty, then the merchant, and then the Shudras. But the ones who come in the Silver Age, they will not come in the Sun dynasty clan, no?
That is
But
first time.
yeah, if they come directly at the time of Silver
Directly.
Age,
Yeah.
they will not
So
be a part of Sun dynasty. But
correct.
the stage of the soul is Sato Pradhan whenever it comes.
Even in Moon dynasty.
Yeah, so it's number wise stage, no? Baba says whenever the soul is coming from the incorporeal world, the soul is coming from the home, it's 100% charged, it's 100% pure. That means it's Sato Pradhan. But at that very quickly it will go down, Sato Rajo Tamo. But the souls who come in the beginning of the cycle will step down slowly, gradually.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more. I will leave others to ask. There are so many others who would want to ask. So much more I really want to know on it.
Baba
Let
does
the
say about this in the Sakar Murlis, that whenever the soul will come, the soul is Sato Pradhan, pure. But the clan, that is the difference. The soul will not come in the Sun dynasty clan, in the deity clan. If the soul is coming in the Silver Age. Yes. Others, anything else?
Om Shanti, sister.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Maintain or experience constant company with Father and get all virtues.
Mm. Anyone else would like to share? Yeah, so the Murli is pretty clear and simple actually, but we need to churn and check ourselves. These signs that Baba mentioned, are we having them in practical, or to what percentage? And is it sometimes? And then we need to finish this word sometimes and become constant in having the stage that Baba mentioned. Yeah.
sister, as the Murli is continuing tomorrow, I think I will really come down to you to ask more about the Sato Pradhan, Sato, Rajo Pradhan, Rajo, and he being the Pied Piper, Tamu Pradhan. I think the Murli is continuing tomorrow. We really would like to go through this lovely aspect of Shanti.
In one of the senior classes, I heard that Brahma Baba take the role of Lakshmana in Silver Age, because he can't take the Rajya once again. He can be the king for once, anybody. Is it so, sister?
I don't know, sister. I had never heard about this, that Brahma Baba will become Lakshman. I've never heard of this point. Baba never said, I think so. Others may say if they have anything to say about this, but I have never heard this point. And I think it's now, as Baba says in the Sakar, we don't need to go into these details, rather than just focus on what we can do in our practical lives, looking at Brahma Baba's life, how he made efforts.
Yes, sister. This question is actually not needed.
Yeah, you're right, sister. The question is not needed, but just to tell you, Baba has always said Brahma Baba will be first in everything. First in every age, it's only he. That I remember reading. I have first, any age, he's the first.
Yeah, but I don't think so he ever said that he will become Lakshman in the Silver Age.
No. But first in everything. I just asked you this question because the degrees decrease.
Yeah,
I think
the degree of the soul will decrease of Brahma Baba's as well, no? As he moves through the cycle, as the soul moves through the cycle, the degree will decrease. even of Lakshmi Narayan. Only then they come down to the Iron Age, and then they become Brahma Saraswati at the confluence age, right? So the degree of the soul has to decrease once it begins to come the cycle of birth and rebirth. So be it Brahma Baba or anyone, degree has to decrease.
But still, Lakshman seems to be powerful than Rama. So they may have that analogy, I think so.
I don't know. Can't say anything about this. Okay. All right. Let's remember Baba, and just as Baba said, the first sign, constantly experience Baba's company, constantly remain absorbed in the love of all relationships with one Baba. That one effort we can make today throughout the day and claim our roles in the Sun dynasty. Right? So this was the first sign that Baba talked about, and I suggest that we can practice this throughout the day. Just stay in Baba's company and remain immersed in experiencing all relationships with one Baba. So in silence, let us remember Baba, and then we can close.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Shamila Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day.